fight, dodging life's drains. Robbing out the gut, I am real like the frame. Back in shadow, but they shine like noon. For hearts beating sick with it.
All right, fellas. This is season one, our first episode together. I'm Daron. That's Willie to the right, and then to the bottom, that's Tim. So we're going to be doing our first episode, and we're going to be talking about how we navigate as a Black man in this world, maybe some of the challenges that we see, and maybe if we even have maybe some solutions to help other Black men that might be struggling in the world too. So I'm going to throw it to you, Willie. Introduce yourself, let our audience know who you are, what you do, and then we'll go to Tim and introduce you, and then we'll get into the conversation. Yeah.
All right. What's going on, everybody? I'm Willie Campbell, or you can call me Will. I'm 30. I'm originally from New York. I grew up in Virginia, but now I've been living in Maryland for the past 5 years. I'm a single father of 3, and I'm a CDL driver. And that's about it right now. After we finish introducing, get some more details.
Okay. What about you, Tim?
Tim Ojurube Jr. I know that's a mouthful. About me, born in Oakland, lived in Baltimore and Houston, Texas, back to the Bay Area. That's where I'm at now. Do so many different things. Artist and a songwriter, trying to everything moving. But like we said, you'll get to know more about me as we keep going on. So
yeah, I'm Daron, host, producer, editor, all of that of the Kings. And I wanted to create a safe space for Black men to come in and just share their vulnerabilities. And as you know, it's hard to navigate as a Black man in this world. The system is stacked against us, no matter what your bracket or no matter smart you is, it's always something that's going to weigh down Black men. And so today I wanted to really talk about like some of the stigmas or some of the things that you see in America that kind of bothers us but doesn't keep us really down. We got to still navigate it, even though the system was against us the whole time, and dated back slavery and stuff like that. So like just some of your experiences, what you say, you see that you don't like in this world.
That's a good question. I mean, honestly, the biggest thing, of course, right, is the stigma that all Black people in general, first and foremost, but all Black men are naturally dangerous. You clutching of the purse, the walking to the other side of the block, you over in a car, comparing you to the most general height. Oh yeah, fit the description of between 5'2" and 7 feet. I'm everybody. Come on, like you know what I mean? Like that. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, like I think it messes with you psychologically. Major point. One of the things that I know growing up, high school to even getting the opportunity to go to college and stuff like that, the clutching of the purse. Eventually, my mind was like, all right, you know what? You holding your purse is not going to stop me from taking it if I want. And I have that mentality. No, that's a wild mentality to have, but you see it for so long, that's exactly what starts going through your mind, at least for me. I don't know if there's other Black men out there who dealt with the same. Situations I've dealt with was when I was in college. By this time, I injured myself from basketball, so I was hanging around with a lot of my friends that rapped. I still wasn't rapping at that time, but we would probably go drive out to Walmart, and went to HBCU, so Maryland. So it was kind of boondocks, you know what I mean? Every time we would get pulled over, I was a bigger guy. By that point, I put on a lot more weight. My dreads were really long. The first time I grew them, they would always come to the passenger side. And I would just shit. I wouldn't stare. I wouldn't say nothing. I just look forward. And the officer, if there's 2 officers, one like, what's his problem? What do you mean? You pull over the driver, right? Talk to the driver. I'm the passenger. What do you got to do with me? Oh, he's not looking at us. He's not talking to us. Because anything I say now, you're already ready to go. You walk in, I know the side view mirror, or with your hand on your hip. So what do you expect me to operate or think about? Like, you know what I mean? Even think when I was visiting my folks, or actually staying with my folks in Maryland, was trying to fix my caddy. I had this beautiful Cadillac. It was something out of a movie, like the 1997 North Star. It got damaged, so I was trying to find parts or somebody to fix it. I got pulled over. The officers will kind of yank me out. I was perusing the area like I was about to steal something. I'm like, no, I'm lost. And I actually slowed down when I see y'all because I was going to ask y'all a question, but y'all already jumped to whatever conclusions. And it was heartbreaking because there were other Black people outside just looking, staring. You know what I mean? Even was out. And I'm sitting on the curb with handcuffs on me for no reason. You know what I mean? Being in Oakland or the Bay Area, I've ran into that so many times where cops are on my butt. They'll follow me all the way around. Just cause. So.
Is that, like mentioned earlier, how does that like plays a role into your psyche? How does that like some of the ways you kind of navigate like as a Black man, like come to it, kind of just suppress it down deep down inside, or
so it's actually all of that. The early stages, it was kind of like, nah, it didn't happen, and just kind of blank face for a little bit, and eventually it became a situation where you're just trying to push it down as much as you can. And eventually it does explode in other areas, right?
Willie, some of your experiences is kind of like navigating the Black men in this world, like just some of the things you see that really irritate you.
One thing that really irritates me is the lack of knowledge. General, from understanding who you are, understanding teachings that need to be started inside the home where you live in first before you go out into this world. Because yeah, you may go to school. That's just the basic standards that the society wants you to learn, so they say. But then when you get out into the real world, there's other things behind that veil. So, for example, for me, and I'm going to be transparent with y'all, man, I have ADHD and dyslexia. So, and also growing up without a father, it's deep.
That part.
It's
I feel
deep
you on that though, Willie. I really can. I grew up without a father too. He was really, it was not good. But go ahead.
Yeah, trust me, my story gets deeper. And when we get further into these podcast episodes, I'm gonna get more deeper into it. But I'm gonna just go to the cover top of it. Having a father, lack of confidence that you need to hear from that role model. Hey, you're doing good. And what you want to go for. What is your goals? What are you doing? What is it that you want to do? And when you mess up, it's also you not chastising, it's giving discipline. So you learning, hey, my father's preparing me for this world.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I'm not prepared, anything could happen. So for an example, there was one time, out in my neighborhood chilling when I was in Portsmouth. Dude, hey man, be a lookout. Not knowing not being street smart, because I was that child that always stay inside the house. I ain't no trouble. I ain't bothering nobody. I just wanted to do me. So some things took place for me not knowing how to give out a code or a signal. Things went over into, where I got put in handcuffs and everything, about to go down. Let's try to be a watchman. I was like, nah, I'm over here chilling in the neighborhood like what I was used to. This guy pull up on a bicycle like that with some little booty shorts on. I'm like, come on now. You just run through here and you just gonna mess with me. So mother came, they talking all this other stuff. I got out. And this is the time where I was only, 11, 12 years old. So not being taught, you're doing anything and the police come to you and you're underage, you make sure and ask them, I'm not saying anything. Call my parents. Let them know what's going on because I have done nothing wrong and I want to know my rights. That's where that's part of it. Also, thing what I find very disturbing in this world right now as being a Black man is, following the same thing. Nobody's not original no more. Nobody wants to be their own authentic self. And for me, also in my background, I grew up in the church. Grandfather was a deacon. My grandmother was in the church. I grew up in the church. So, always towards God for guidance and direction and everything what we needed to do. So, sorry, y'all, something bothering.
You good?
It's just deep into it because every day, and the thing about me is this, I work at a job where I'm the only Black male driver.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else at my job is white. And this is a family-owned company, too. The only person who also is Black there is just one of the cashiers. She's biracial. But still, I'm the darkest out of them all. I get disgusted by hearing them the way how they try to talk, the way how they try to joke, as if like they're black and they think that I'm cool with everything that they do.
Mhm.
Me, nah, I'm smarter than that. I just know how to play the game like how you like to play.
Yeah,
And that
yeah,
and experiencing this crap, man, is sad. It is sad that we have to down ourselves and try to put on a fake face and a fake mask just to get by at a job, just to try to be accepted. And I'm learning right now, it's okay not to be accepted by them. You just got to be yourself.
Yeah.
yeah,
And not, for example, go ahead.
yeah. My share of experiences too. How to play the game. White man's term. A lot of dysfunctional jobs, and I've been specifically the last job that I was at. It was his owner, and I don't know why he didn't like me. It come clear until later on, conversations and how he treated me, that he was racist. But I didn't know that prior. And make me work long hours. He favored the other black person over me. So initially I thought that, okay, maybe he just doesn't like me per se. You have to have that, those in, like, maybe they just don't like me. But just as I've started to see how he interacted and how he treated him in a way too, as to see that he, racism tendencies, and he would say some of the things that was not appropriate for work. He would use his whatever to say whatever he wanted to say right in front of other employees and right in front of and stuff like that. And so I just kind of off, the kind of you saying, Willie, to their gang. But shit hurts, or and saying things, but you can't say that back them because they will fire you because they have that power, they have that privilege. And so I just kind of off like everything okay. But eventually went with another black person. So it's an MO now. It's a consistent pattern that you're treating black employees worse than you are treating, the white better than the blacks. And I just believe when I got fired, that was the happiest day of my life. That sign of relief that, okay, I can breathe again. I can, do everything I want to do out in the workplace without people watching me, time, just all these different things that he would pick me just because of the color of my skin.
Right.
And, hard, like King had a dream, but that's not going to stop people from being who they are.
Sure.
The black men in this life, it's really rough. And that's just like, all different types of aspects of your life that you have to kind of navigate, relationships, friendships.
Yep.
That's a conversation for another day, but it's hard, Some of the solutions any one of you can, talk about this that help us to kind of talk. Do we go to therapy? Do we have a friend that we can talk to? Like, what's the solutions to kind of navigate this world?
One of the things that I was saying, and I was actually saying to Willie earlier, is like, first things have to acknowledge the situation and what's going on at hand. And then you also have to be, like he pretty much said, you kind of be aware of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that, again, always going to stand on is know that you're not doing anything wrong. You're just driving, going home, coming from work, going to the grocery store. Hell, even if you're going to a party or club or something, you want to have fun. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You're not doing anything wrong. Know the rules and regulations of your area or where you're at and know your rights. The main thing that a lot of us don't know. And yeah, therapy will help. But, and again, this is just me speaking on it. I feel like, again, it's be the Band-Aid, but what rips it off is you having knowledge. I have a friend that's in LA. Everybody knows LA police, right? He make that much money, but he already is against the aspect where he has a lawyer on hand. I'm not saying it has to get to that point, but this is where we're at now, right?
You got to just navigate life.
Exactly. However you can. And I think the main thing is, one, know that you're not doing anything wrong and really, really feel that. Because if you don't feel that, you could say it as much as you want, but deep inside, you don't feel that. The moment the officer pulls up or the officers, because some places I know out here in the Bay, they will have 5, 6, 7 cars on you just because you may have rolled to a stop sign.
Man, is that bad?
It's bad. It's bad. It's bad.
Man.
Know things. Do your research as far as what you can do, and I'm gonna take it more specific. Know the rulings of today, because also another thing too is there's some rules that don't carry as much weight as they used to. Like people be like, "Oh no, they're Miranda rights." Yeah, but the late within policy, it don't as heavy as what it used to be.
Because they can easily manipulate you.
Exactly. So the rulings of today, I think, and yeah, need therapy, get therapy. But I think those are the major things that to help you navigate and get through whatever it is you get through with the situation.
What about you, Willie? What are some of the things that we can navigate as we kind of put tonight here?
One thing that I'm going to always say to everybody, because of my background, God first through all your trials and your tribulations and the things that you go through. Because some things you may not understand why it's happening. You may not know what's going to happen next. But just continue to remember, be in his hands. I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I know he got, like also said, another good thing to have and also have, that you can trust. I mean, problems.
Yeah.
Everybody. But me, one thing I can always tell somebody, man, I can't complain. But everybody always say, well, because don't nobody want to hear from it. Ha, ha, ha. I'm like, whatever, go ahead.
Yeah.
I don't complain about it because I know my situation may not be bad than the other person.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I can be, a better standpoint than somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another way to also, as you navigate. My situation may be better than somebody else's because somebody may not woke up today. I woke up today, I still got clothes, I got a car or whatever the type of transportation you have. Everything that you have right now is something that was needed. So where I was looking for. Just to be thankful for what you have right now. That's the
situation
to navigate.
I think some of the ways to kind of the Black men is like definitely what you were saying, Timothy, just rights as a Black man or just knowing your right as a human being in general. Because there will be times where the police be trying to be slick and say, doesn't apply here or whatever.
Yeah.
And, to manipulate you into confessions or just doing things that's slick or putting stuff in your car and, have it. Like they all types of ruthless shit because they don't like you as a Black man. God forbid you give them a hard time. They go write everything down that was said. And that's used against you at court. But God, I'm glad that we live in a technology world where record things and they have body cams, so they can't fake what they said because that's what they said out of their mouth. Unless they can edit the video for them.
And that's what I want to say, about body cams. I feel like there's been so many situations with the body cams and they still get away scot-free. I feel like they pick and choose who gets to go. Okay, Eric and Monty can go free, but we're going to get Jeremy next week and let him go to jail. Like when it comes to the body cams.
Right.
Yeah. Just knowing your rights as a citizen, especially knowing that if they ask you to, put your, in your glove compartment or whatever, that, because I think that you might try to, get in the glove compartment and reach for a gun and shoot them.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to be really smart and think about the things you're doing, some reason to actually shoot you because they're going to use that against you. Say, well, he wasn't complying to what I was saying.
For sure.
So let me go ahead and do it because they don't like us anyway. They for a reason to kill us. Right. And so knowing those rights, knowing how to kind of their system and navigate is going to help you to, with law, and then even just navigating life with different people as Black men, jobs and relationships.
Yeah.
To choose you have to choose happiness and happiness over anything.
Yeah.
To close this up tonight here. But it really was nice to you guys. We're gonna have plenty more conversation around different topics that us as Black men.
Sure.
And I try to close the show with like encouragement. I know a lot of men are, silenced. They feel like they can't have a voice to, thoughts, or they feel like, wuss if they going through mental issues and stuff like that. So it's like some of the, black men, that's kind of like what's some of the things you can kind of go for instead of, because I know it's a lot of negativity among black men.
Yeah.
So what's some of the positive things that, hope for the future? Anything that kind of your mind?
Keep your eyes on the prize, man. Keep your eyes on the prize at all times. You know exactly what you're trying to get out of life. Understand, copy off of Willie, because Willie said a lot of good things too. Understand that you're alive today, man. There's a lot of people who did not make it, right? That's very, high, and then also part of you as a person who's going forward. You can be struggling, you can be going through depression, everything under the sun. You know what I mean? But as long as you're able to go forward, even if you fall forward, that's still okay. Don't let nobody tell you, oh, you fell, so it's over. No, even if you fall and you fall forward, that's still a sign that you're still trying to survive. That's still a sign that you're still trying. It's still a sign that you grinding and you doing everything possible to keep going forward. Someone told me before that as long as your 2 feet are planted on this soil, you can look up and you can see the sun. You can look up and see the moon. Partner, that's wealth. That's health. That's everything. Or you just all the other smaller things. It's gonna come. But as long as your feet is planted on the soil, you can see the sun. You can see the moon. You're good. So.
What about you, Willie? What's some encouragement for black men that's going through it right now?
Be patient with yourself. Every little step, every little progress that you take, you heading towards a better future. So, I mean, no matter what the day turns out, as long as you know that step forward, you're doing good. Can you be impatient with yourself? Give yourself some grace and mercy. We ain't perfect. We all make mistakes. Learn from it, be thankful, and continue fighting.
Yep. And I'm gonna close us out today. About my words of encouragement for me. We break the cycle of stop being stuck in your brokenness, your trauma, and whatever you're going through. You gotta go talk to someone about whatever's going on in your life, whether it's a friend, a therapy, a confidant, whatever you want to get off your chest. You gotta let that go because it's only gonna eat you up inside.
Mm-hmm.
So go and get help if you need it. A lot of resources, a lot of community resources. There's crisis hotlines on speed dial. So get the help that you need, and I hope nothing but the best for my brothers, because I know a lot of my friends are really going through it right now. But if I notice one thing in life is continue to be optimistic. Don't let all of the outside world get into your mind. Keep going. You got this. You're going to be a strong black king. Hopefully you find your queen, You this. And you're going to survive. So don't give up in life. We're rooting for you, all of us.
Yep.
Like life's dreams, robbing out the gutter. I am real like the frame. That in shadow, but they shine like noon. For hearts beating sick with you.